So normally with this World Cup, what do I call it? World Cup
daily vlog.
Gonzo. I edit lots of stuff together, but as you can see, we're inside the ground, and this might be the only one shot of the whole series. We're just going to have a chat during halftime. It's Australia 36 leading Cook Islands 0. Earlier 46-0 New Zealand over France. And I got Mary Kay here, fresh not from Australia where she lives, but fresh from Cyprus. Is that right? So we'll start with your journey to get here. A bit of a dream, I guess, to come to a Women's World Cup. But you didn't come straight here to York, did you?
No, I didn't. So as you mentioned, Steve, I've been in Cyprus for the last 10 days. I've got some family there. It's great to see them soak up some rays before I got to the UK. There are no rays here.
I saw it. I met a guy called Ray earlier. But, now, it's quite noisy. But I think based on my editing experience on this, they will be able to hear us. So you're obviously been a great champion of Women's Rugby League for a long time, and it's come a long way, hasn't it?
It really has, Steve. So when I started, writing about rugby league 9 years ago, I didn't even know that the Australian Jillaroos existed. So to be in a position today where not only do we have women competing at the Rugby League World Cup on equal footing to the men and the wheelchair competitions, but for the NRLW to be in existence, and for me to recognise so many of the players competing internationally because of the NRLW is amazing.
But as in the men's competition, we've seen some big scores so far, haven't we? So is that just something we've just got to wear? It's just growing pains?
I think so, to be perfectly honest, Steve. And I think the best example is the PNG Orchids. So their first Rugby League World Cup was back in 2017. They had some pretty heavy losses in that Rugby League World Cup. They came out and beat the Ravens in their opening match and have grown significantly since then. And their captain, Elsie Albert, also plays in the NRLW. So I know there have been some big losses. I mean, the Cook Islands have got really stiff opposition in Australia. But I think as the women's game continues to grow and professionalise, it will just get better.
What do you make of the World Cup and all the people around it, and the routine of travelling from stadium to stadium, and the food, and what do you make of the whole thing so far?
I'm having such a great time, Steve. Everyone here is so friendly. It is a little bit cold, but everyone's kind and wants to have a chat and wants to talk about Australia and offer me Bovril? What's it called?
It's Bovril.
Bovril. I had chips and curry sauce yesterday. That was quite good. And I've started talking a bit in an English accent as well. So we'll see how we go.
No.
Luxury.
No,
we're in luxury.
You do not have an English accent. You don't
I can put it on.
So Australia-New Zealand final in the women's?
I think so. That's what I'm going to call it. I think England, they've improved significantly as well. And we saw them put a big score on in their first game. I'm predicting Australia-Kiwis.
Well, that's it. This might be a 3-minute episode. This might be the only part of this episode, but I'm so far behind in posting that you will be retired by the time this video is posted.
Perfect. That sounds good, Steve. Thanks for having me and for all you do for International Rugby League.
I can't afford to retire. Okay, bye.
Probably my biggest issue would really be with the pools. I just think that for starters, Australia and New Zealand should have been split between A and B pool. That's a no-brainer. I think that's just common sense. They've played every grand final, so I can't imagine how they ended up in the same pool. I don't see any system that allows the two top seeds to be in the same pool, and so that's pretty tough. And obviously for us being in the pool of death, and as I said before, England's in the spa pool along with the old Brazil and Canada.